Next game on our list. Here it is. It is time. It is the Buffalo Bills defeating the Baltimore Ravens 23-20 in a game that featured two MVP quarterbacks in Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I know Josh Allen has never won the MVP, but MVP caliber quarterbacks is what I'm saying. The Bills took down the Ravens 23-20. Let's start off big picture here, Aaron. What were your takeaways from this matchup? Your biggest takeaway from this matchup?
This game reminded me a lot of the Miami Buffalo game. Just two good football teams. Everybody expects it to be high scoring because of the offenses, but don't give enough respect to the defenses. It was kind of a sloppy game. Weather was involved, and these are two of the best teams in football. These are two of the teams in the NFL on that list that I was mentioning earlier that I think can actually win the Super Bowl. Buffalo and Baltimore are two of the teams that I think can actually win the Super Bowl from a talent, coaching, schematically, just everything working in unison. I think these two teams have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, once again, shows why he's a game changer because he didn't throw the ball really well. Just barely completing, 50% of his passes. But he was able to run on the ground more than enough. He matched Lamar Jackson, which is huge. And he didn't turn the football over a lot in a sloppy game. Like he had the one pick. But I thought he played within himself. And they stuck with the game plan the entire time. I had thought that Stephon Diggs would have a huge day. Obviously, there was some circumstances that didn't allow that. And I thought Baltimore's defense overall played really well, especially the first part of the game. But they just kept chipping away. Buffalo just kept chipping away and finding ways to get closer. And I kept saying to myself, like, Baltimore's got to score. Like the offense has to go score. And the defense for the Buffalo Bills just never let up. Big turnover late in the game for Lamar there. And Buffalo was able to get the win. But this was just a good game between two good football teams. I would like to see this game played in a better setting, per se.
What do you mean?
I just thought it was a little. I thought there were some weather factors that could have changed the outcome of the game. Like if this was played, I don't know, in a neutral indoor.
Oh, okay. So something that we'll never ever get to see
with everything perfect. And the weather just again, Buffalo in the snow. No. I look forward to the rematch of this game. I'll just say that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right, yeah. Well, the Ravens blew a 17-point lead in this game, and that's just 2 weeks after blowing a 21-point lead in loss to the Miami Dolphins. Is this a concern for you with the Baltimore Ravens moving forward, at least when it comes to the playoffs and they face these good teams that they might not be able to get the job done even if they have a lead?
Nope. Not worried.
Not at all.
Their offense will find a way to score points. It's not like their defense. The Miami game, their defense fell apart. This game, it's not like their defense fell apart. I mean, quarter and you blow a 17-point. That's not really that much. The Bills score a touchdown right before half. They get the ball first, get some points, and you're right back in a one-score game. Like to me, I think that's overstated at times. This wasn't 21 points in the fourth quarter of getting comeback. This game was, even though it was 20-6,
this game was 20-0 in the second half.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
Dude, it was 20-10 at halftime. What are you talking about?
No, what I remember. Okay. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
No. This game was not 20. Was it 20-10 at halftime?
Oh my God, are you really?
It was 20-10 at half. No. Yeah, it was 20-10 at halftime. So 13-0 in the second half. 13-0 in the second half. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not. But that's what I mean. That's not some. Oh my God, huge comeback. Like Baltimore's offense just didn't score in the second half. It's not like their defense played terribly. They gave up 2 field goals and a touchdown. So no, I'm not worried. To answer the initial question, you're really trying to question me? No.
Yes. There's a lot. We cover a lot of games. There's a lot of games that I'm covering. Okay, there's a lot happening. I'm trying to.
I told you I was watching the Red Zone yesterday.
Yeah, that's what you were doing. So all in all, this is still status quo for the Bills and Ravens. Like, there's not much that we learned
Two
from
good
this to
teams.
take. Like, this is two good teams battling it out, plain and simple. 23-20. No concerns coming out of this. No takeaways. Really, it's just status quo from these teams.
So it's funny. I mentioned Baltimore, or I mentioned earlier today that Buffalo has played one of the toughest schedules. Well, Baltimore has beaten the Jets and Patriots like they should, and lost to the Dolphins and Bills, who were this past week ahead of them in power rankings. So, no, I'm not going to change because they lost the game. They lost to a good team. It's hard to. We're so quick to drop teams down and raise teams up, and it's the NFL. They're 2-2, and it looks like they're 2-2, and the Giants are 3-1. But
nah, that's not.
I'm just saying. But people do that. Like, people look at Baltimore now 2-2 today, and they're going to say they're not as good of a football team.
That's absurd. I do think the AFC North is starting to get tighter, though. I think the AFC North is going to be even tighter. Like, when Deshaun Watson comes back and the Bengals are starting to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
but Cleveland has to be able to hang on that long. Cleveland, the last couple, I'm like, I'm not sure if Cleveland can hang on long enough until week 11. Like, that's a long time, man. I still think Baltimore's clearly the class of the AFC North. But
I mean, you look at the schedule for Baltimore coming up too. I mean, Tampa and New Orleans isn't even a thing anymore, and I guess Baltimore will be able to hold on a little bit more.
The Bengal game will kind of tell you a lot, right? If Baltimore goes in there and handles business, I expect them to beat the Giants, the Browns. Maybe Tampa's the loss, but then the Saints, Panthers, Jags, Broncos, Steelers, Brown, by then Deshaun Watson back, they should be able to pull away. Meanwhile, the Browns go to the Chargers, tough. New England, the Browns don't have an easy win because it's Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
the Browns could lose their next 7 games.
Yeah, that's fair. That's all right. I do want to point out one note before we move on to our next game. The Bills, they finally won. They finally broke that streak of one
score games.
One score games. That's what I was looking for. They broke that streak, and I talked about
relax, it was okay.
Huh?
You mean like I told everybody, relax, it was okay?
Yes. Yeah, that's what it was. Do you want to get back into the Harbaugh touchdown comments since we didn't get to? So let's no, okay, because we didn't get to, because no fans got to see that at the beginning of the show.
Well,
you're watching this.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's kibosh this, because this is our Sac City game of the week, though. This was it. This is our Sac City game of the week. This was it. So let's talk about that decision at the end of the game from John Harbaugh to instead go for a touchdown instead of going for the points and a field goal. He said this after the game.
Well, I felt like it gave us the best chance to win the game, because 7, the worst that happens is if they go down the field and score, and I think we'll get them stopped. But if they go down the field and score a touchdown, the worst thing that can happen is that you're in overtime. But you kick a field goal there, now it's not a 3-down game anymore, it's a 4-down game. You're putting them out there, you're putting your defense at a disadvantage because they've got 4 downs to convert all the way down the field. And a chance to, again, score 7, and then you lose the game on a touchdown. So, and then the other thing, you think you're going to get the ball at the 2-yard line. So I'm very confident in our defense's ability to stop them down there with the ball on the 2-yard line. So we got them backed up if we don't get it. Didn't turn out that way, unfortunately, and we lost the game. So hindsight, you could take the points, but if you look at it analytically, I understand why we did it.
Do you understand why he did it?
Yep. I don't. The game of football has changed. Like, we can fight this aggressive analytics, number-driven decision-making all we want to. We can fight it, but it has changed. Like, these coaches are okay with going forward in certain situations.
Yeah, they are.
The one Russell Wilson, the very first week of the season. Oh, they should have let him go for it on 4th and blah. He's $230 million, blah. Why are you paying him? Well, we want the best players in the world to be in the best situation. We have to have trust in our ability to get things done. Confidence is a funny thing, because we want to pick and choose when we have confidence in players. Everybody loves Lamar Jackson. Oh, yeah, he's great. But he threw an interception. So now, oh, wow, why didn't you just kick the field goal? No, Like, you can't pick and choose when you want it to be, when it fits the storyline that you want it to have. I have zero problem ever if a coach says, I want the ball to be in my best player's hands. Would Justin Tucker have made the field goal? Sure. Could Josh Allen have gotten the ball back, drove right down the field, and scored a touchdown?
Well, that's the thing. It's the exact opposite of what happened at the beginning of the season with Russell Wilson. It's like you took it out of his hands and you wanted it in his hands. It's the best play. You wanted it in the best player's hands. Baltimore did that. That's what happened here. They put it in their best player's hand. Although
we cry about overtime rules. We cry about overtime rules because you want the best player to have a chance to get the ball. Lamar Jackson's the best player on the field.
Well, I think someone else on the Baltimore Ravens might have something to say about being the best player for the Baltimore Ravens, and it is their kicker in Justin Tuck. So maybe that's
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I know it was
Lamar
a joke.
Jackson is the best.
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
And they gave him an opportunity. It's not about analytics. This is not a. Yes. It's not about analytics, because analytics or millions of dollars. The fact is, Lamar Jackson is analytically the best player on the field and should get paid the most money. Obviously, he's not right now because he doesn't have a contract, but he is their franchise quarterback. That's who I want to have the ball. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It didn't work out. You know how many times I've watched him last year when they played Kansas City? It was 4th and 1. Did they punt the ball? It was 4th and 1 in their own territory. Did they punt the ball and give it to Patrick Mahomes? Nope. They said Lamar Jackson looked at the sideline, said, we going for it? Harbaugh said yes. They won the game. Nobody said nothing. It was like, yeah, that's what you do right there. Yeah, you go for it. Don't give Mahomes the ball. Don't give Josh Allen a chance to beat you. You take it out of their best player's hands and you put it in your best player's hands. That is the game of football in 2022. If you don't like it, that's on you. That's fine. You can fight it, but that's the game. Give it to the guy that you trust the most, and they trusted Lamar Jackson. It just didn't work out. Simple as that.
And no argument here for me on that, because that's where I would have done as well. Player of the game for this matchup as we round out this recap. It is someone who's not loaded up in here yet because he's StreamYard is doing things that is not great. Jesus. Let's see if I can get it right though. Let's see if I can get my player of the game correct. My player of the game is not someone from this MVP offense, and it's not someone from this other MVP. It's not from either MVP offenses. My player of the game right here is Jordan Poyer from the Buffalo Bills. No Micah Hyde on the other side of him because he's out from injury. So Jordan Poyer has to step up, and he stepped up big in this game. 6 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions on Lamar Jackson in this game, including that big interception in the end zone to seal the deal to make the win happen for the Buffalo Bills. Your big-time players have to step up on defense, and that's exactly what Jordan Poyer has done this season and did in this game. He's one of their best players on this team. This season alone, Jordan Poyer he's got 4 interceptions and has only allowed 3 catches when targeted. He has been a dog on this defense. He is my player of the game because he's impacting the game. He's changing the results of this game.
I'm okay with it.
Wow, I'm on a roll right now. These player of the games. All right,
I think these games have been very easy to pick.
Well, that's my last player of the game because my graphic system is completely down. I cannot make any more player of the game graphics. So that's my last player of the game.